meditation. 15 minutes. What the heck? What benefit? How does that 15 minutes going to make a difference here? I mean, I kind of feel like I meditate when I walk to the office for a half hour, or I'm listening, or going for a run or a bike. Are those not also forms of meditation or distraction?
We'll offer you some conversation and then you tell us. We're going to put it to you in a really powerful way. 10 seconds of an absolute quiet mind is more powerful than any action that you've ever offered all put together. The leverage of non-physical is like that. 10 seconds. So we suggest 15 or 20 minutes because it usually takes that long to get that 10 seconds. But when you're walking to the office, there are things to think about. It's not a quieted mind. And we love you so much, but do you know, almost everything in your physical environment triggers something. There's just triggering mechanisms everywhere. Esther went with friends to an antique barn yesterday, and everything in the place triggered something. The memory of things like that having moved through their lives before. They just told stories. Oh, my grandmother had that. Oh, I remember that. I had one of those one time and I painted it a different color. Esther wanted to get an 18-wheeler and just load it up and take it all back to Texas and turn crap into beautiful things, because it activated within her those days of wanting to make something of something. The creative juices just began to flow. They were salivating as they were moving through it. Everything triggers something. Music triggers something. You see someone who reminds you of someone, it triggers something. You live in a world that triggers. And what meditation does, it puts you in a place where you are more likely to be triggered towards satisfying things than triggered toward unsatisfying things. And that's really the balance of the work that we've been encouraging in these couple of mornings that we've spent together.
Great. Thanks
really
so
good.
much.
Really good. Yeah.
When you're in meditation, you're releasing stress, and that's where these thoughts come from. And then sometimes later.
But here's the thing. What we want you to realize is that, because we understand why someone would say something like that, but we've moved beyond that. We're talking about something way more important in this sense. When you quiet your mind and allow your vibration to rise, so you get into the receptive mode, you're going to get thoughts. And if you believe that every thought you get is, what'd they say?
Releasing stress.
That the thoughts you get in meditation are releasing stress?
No. Moving from so your vibration rises when you meditate, and when you come out of meditation, you're dropping to a lower vibration, and that releases stress. And that stress is, you translate it through thoughts and emotions.
What's really happening is the stress goes away, because stress and resistance are the same thing. So the stress goes away in the absence of resistance. And then when you come back into awareness, it's maybe logical that you would recognize the difference between how you felt then and how you feel. In other words, we're in agreement that meditation is a releasing of resistance and therefore is a releasing of stress. So what are you getting at?
Part of it is sort of like, I don't always hear source when I'm in meditation, but the rest of it.
But we want meditation to be a different, we want the reason for meditation to be the releasing of resistance. And eventually, in that environment, in the absence of resistance, step one you've already done, step two is already done. In meditation with no resistance, you're actually doing step three. So that's when the thoughts will begin flowing.
And I also feel like the rest of the day, I just feel source all day long. Like I can receive so many things because of the stress that I release
we agree.
In the
meditation. It's a better day. The power of that 10 seconds is big. That 10 seconds of recalibrating to your source. What it accomplishes first and foremost is it makes you more sensitive to anything that isn't that. People say to us, Abraham, is it normal for all hell to break loose in my life when I begin meditating? And we say, it's perfectly normal for you to recognize negative emotion when you've tuned to the pure positive emotion. That's what happens. Yes.
And the other thing this teacher said is that the first meditation of the day is the one where you release the stress. And if you were to meditate a second time in the day, that's when you can actually go deeper and feel source more.
Well, we can see the logic in that. We are encouraging meditation once a day, and then doing your best to be in the receiving mode as you're moving through life. You came into this experience to create, and so being focused and alert. In other words, feel the difference between what we're asking of you to quiet your mind and what we're asking of you to be in a receiving mode, so that in that quieted mind state you begin to receive impulses. And then when we ask you to begin responding to those impulses, then that's when you want to be wide-eyed and bushy-tailed and out in the world and that sort of thing. So a lot of people meditate to escape. We want you to meditate to hook up, and then to wake up, get into your life, and do what you came to do. Enough? What do you do when you're in a spot that you don't want to be, and you can't get your attention off that spot?
You look for something satisfying and positive.
But what if you can't do that? What if law of attraction has got so hold of you that even though you're here in an environment like this, you still are talking about that? What do you do? What do you do when you can't stop talking about it? What do you do?
Shut up.
What do you do when law of attraction won't let you shut up? What do you do?
Meditate.
Go general. Go general is the best thing to do if you can't take a nap. Or go general is the best thing that you can do if you don't have an opportunity to meditate. But how are you going to slow that momentum? Because it's not going to happen. You say that, we say this, 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 and no improvement in your vibration happens, and we're really good at this. You've got to find some way of giving that a rest. And you know what's really working in your favor? You just said to us, what I didn't work, and I know it didn't work. And so you're sort of in this place of resolution to do something different than that. This is a really serious question that we're asking you. If law of attraction has got hold of you on an issue, and it does, and so every time you get anywhere near it, music makes you think about it, somebody else is saying something about it, every television program points right at it, even the television commercials point at it. You walk down the street and strangers remind you about it. In other words, it's everywhere. It's in the atmosphere everywhere, because law of attraction is so good. Law of attraction will keep feeding back to you what's in your vibrational pipeline. It just will. What is the logical resolution of that? I'm going to set aside deliberately 15 or 20 minutes every single day where law of attraction doesn't have access to that activity within my vibration, because I'm shutting it all down. Not just that, I'm shutting it all down. The good and the bad and the ugly, I'm shutting it all down. I'm not going to think about that thing I'm thinking about. Do you meditate?
Yes. Yes, and I've been trying to get back into doing that regularly again.
I have meditated, but I haven't been meditating lately.
Not as often as I should.
I don't meditate. I don't meditate. I don't use this tool, but it's a tool that I understand, and it's a tool that I will use. And I understand that when I find something to focus on, really? Something to focus on, really? Can you focus? You are like a dog on a bone. You are one of the best focusers ever. You focus. You focus, so you surely can focus on the
Air conditioning, the silence.
But is there silence?
If you listen.
Listen. Hear it? It's not silent. You hear the air conditioner? Do you? Wasn't easy, was it? Gotta listen. Not them. They're making noise back there. Chewing gum. Unnecessary laughter. More unnecessary laughter. More unnecessary laughter. You have to isolate that sound. You have to identify it and isolate it, and that takes focus. Identify it and isolate it. Listen to it. Notice it. That takes focus. Listen to it. Are you hearing it more now that you're listening for it? Yes. So that's all. Just do that. Just do that around the other things Esther was meditating with a friend in the garden one day. They went to this beautiful place with a stream. Esther's got a man-made stream running through this place. And as soon as they sat down, jets started flying over. And at first Esther thought, oh, we didn't pick a very good place. And then she realized, no, this is the best place. I have to isolate that stream in the midst of all this other noise. And that's what life is. Life is isolating what's satisfying in a noisy, unsatisfying world. That's what it is. As you identify it and isolate it and focus on it. And when you focus on something as insignificant and boring, you're not thinking thoughts like, that's not a very good air conditioner sound. I've heard better. There's no judgment. There's no vibrational legacy. That air conditioner is not going to push your buttons. It's not going to yank your chain. It is a neutral thought that when you focus upon it, it's going to allow you to quiet your mind. And when you quiet your mind, your inner resources become dominant. And your vibration will, the first day probably, second day more, third day more, the vibration of your being will rise to the equivalency of your inner being. And you will turn the vibrational corner. Your vibrational point of attraction has shifted. So now, even though law of attraction is still standing by, ready to jump on board anything you think about, it's less likely that you'll go there. You will go there, because you don't stop any of those thoughts cold turkey, but tomorrow you're going to meditate again. And tomorrow you're going to isolate that air conditioner even more. And tomorrow your vibration is going to rise, and you're going to tune in to the frequency of who you are. And your point of attraction is going to shift even more. And you're going to become increasingly, with every day of meditation, it is our promise to you, more of a vibrational match to the things that are in your vortex. And so this is carving out the path, carving out the path, carving out the path. You meeting your inner being halfway? No, you don't have to meet your inner being halfway. Your inner being has come 99% of the way. You only have to meet your inner being 1 to 99%. Your inner being is so powerful and so clear, and there is so much of you that is rooted in that. It is so much more natural for you to go that way than for you to go that way. It's not a difficult thing to do, but you have to do it. You have to do it. You can't say, yeah, I meditate, or I mean to meditate, or I'm going to meditate. You got to quiet your mind if you want the momentum to subside. Then you get to witness the changes. Then you get to feel the satisfaction of the changes that you're witnessing. Then you get to start feeling worthy again, which you haven't done since the day you were born nearly.